so many rats scurrying about in this mansion lately.
Johans! They give the place a quick, wary glance before following the noise. No! Oh god! Behind me, another branch breaks and oh!
Help me.
Oh my god, that's the first time she's talked!
Oh god. Who's there?
She's alive!
Drag another person into this Ashton.
Into another one of your silly little problems.
All because you can't fix them on your own. You really haven't changed, have you? Some hero you are. Don't listen to it!
Yes, Marianne, save him! Hey internet, it's Jessica and welcome back to the letter. So, Ashton is finally in the house, more specifically in the kitchen area, and he was finally confronted with the ghost girl again, and like what she did with Marianne, trying to convince him, or control him, or kind of hypnotize him into thinking he's doing the wrong thing. And this makes me nervous because Ashton is by himself. I don't think Marianne is gonna stick around, right? She's gonna leave, because she only said, I'll help you get to the kitchens and I'm getting the hell out of here. So I'm a little bit nervous that I'm gonna make the wrong choices for Ashton since he has no backup. So let's hope this goes well. The trapdoor swings open without much fuss. It isn't even locked, probably left open for when the Wrights ask for some midnight snack. I make sure the coast is clear, of course, before I pull myself and help McCullough up. The butler of theirs is nowhere to be seen. He's probably sleeping, attending to his master, or doing something extra late night work before turning in for the night. Meanwhile, Wright won't touch anything to do with menial chores, not even with a 10-foot pole. It's next to impossible for him to linger here. No servants, no anyone. And just as easy as that, we're in. Gently, I close the hatch. If things go well, the same path will be for our way out. If our luck doesn't hold, that's not an option now, is it? I have people waiting for me. I really don't want to think what might happen. Sometimes it's best if we simply revel in our little victories. They're great blessings when everything else is going against you. And in a place like this fraught with unknown dangers, it's a feeling that lasts only but a second. Suddenly, a sob, ringing out from some distant part of the house, echoing through the empty halls. Beside me, slumped on the ground, pale and breathing heavily, McCullough immediately tenses. Her eyes go wide and she grips the side of the corner with a force that might be enough to rack it. That might be enough to crack it if only she has the strength. As it is, she can barely stand. She hasn't fully recovered, makes sense of the 3 or more days without proper food or water, and it's this weakness that puts the fear in her eyes. She's aware. If something happens, if there's a need to run, she won't be able to. She's a liability at this point. This is what I'm afraid of, because like if we have to run from the girl, what's gonna happen with Marianne? Because Ashton can run. I don't know how fast he can be if he picks up Marianne, right? Because like Marianne's a tall lady, let's be honest here. So I don't know if he would be able to do that.
Holmes, I really don't think going any further is a good idea. Look at this place. Everything seems fine. Nothing's off. Maybe we should just go? I really don't like the sound of that.
You really don't have to come with me. Just until the kitchen, yeah? We're already here. You've done your part. From here on, I'm going on my own.
Yes, I said that, but...
Can you even stand?
She doesn't answer.
You'll only be putting yourself in more danger if you follow after me.
I agree. I'm just concerned what happens when they separate.
You have an easy way out of here. Stay here. Once you're okay, I need you to get yourself out of this place.
What? I'm not going to leave you!
Well, I'm not taking you with me either, lady. So it's here or out there.
You really are mad, aren't you?
Yeah, he kinda is.
Probably all will be. If no one fixes this little curse problem we have.
You think you'll find something in here? This is just a mansion, for God's sake!
I don't really blame Marianne. She doesn't know what's going on, but this is where it all began, right?
Maybe. It's worth a shot.
It's all they have, too.
Besides, if what we're hearing right now says anything, I'd say scumbags.
Who?
Right.
Right.
He might be knee-deep in trouble and he has no idea about it.
McCullough still appears as if she's about to argue, so instead of more words, I unholster my taser and hand it to her. A standard issue for every member of Luxbourne police force, but it shouldn't take a genius to know how to aim and fire one. Even Isabella may be able to use it without training. Yet, Miss Interior Designer Extraordinaire stares at it as if it's just handed her something particularly nasty.
Listen, you want to wait? Fine. I'm leaving this with you, but if I don't come back here within 15 minutes, I want you to backtrack and get the hell out of here.
Are you daft, Holmes? I already told you!
In case something goes wrong, I need someone who can tell people what's going on. Who can tell my friends what might have happened here. They're at the crawl. You know the place, right?
I trail off, letting the meaning of my words hang in the air. However, I'm going against something almost everyone can quite understand. I'm just being realistic with my chances. McCullough seems to understand this as well, after what I said. Any signs of protest has already died from her tongue, and she simply looks at the taser quietly. After a moment, she just nods. Beyond the walls of this room, the cries continue to grow louder, and I take it as a sign to leave. Without another word, I slip out of the door. Oh god! Like a siren call, her voice beckons. Finding out who that is seems a good place to start as any. Oh god, I don't like this! I keep to the shadows for the most part. Not that there are any need to, the entire place just feels empty. Wait a second, where is everybody? That's actually a good question, because like Ashton said in the last episode, it's kind of weird. There's guards everywhere, but you don't see any lights on, and I get it's the middle of the night, but like you would like think someone's like awake. Or something. Like, it's kind of weird. Odd, when the house this big should have a large staff. You'd think there'll be one or two roaming around for some late night chores, or someone seeking out whoever's creating this ruckus. There's none, however.
Shouldn't they have security posted inside as well?
Yeah, that's another thing. There's one thing to have security outside, but shouldn't there be like at least one or two people inside? Unless their security means the butler, though I doubt Scumbag's that sloppy. He loves his life more than anything, probably more than his own wife. And the things he's done, he's bound to make more than an enemy or two. He's also the kind who'll do anything to keep him safe, alive.
I wonder what he'll say when he finds out that there's something not human living with him in his own house.
Do you guys think Luke knows about the girl? Because, like, I still can't tell. I know we're going to get to his chapter next, but, like, I just can't tell if Luke understands what the hell is going on in the house with this ghost thing, or he's just completely oblivious to everything. Potential dangers aside, being on my own grants me a greater degree of mobility, which I'm more comfortable with. Sure, I could have enlisted McCullough's help. Next to the people who owns this, she's probably the one who's most familiar with the mansion, but the cons of bringing her outweigh the pros. She's better off somewhere as quick exit in sight. With no tag-along, I have only to worry about myself, watch my back. Selfish, I know.
Unnecessary.
In the same manner this whole plan is, no matter how idiotic going into this is, besides, I really don't need a guide when the house layout is fairly simple, almost mirrored with my own few modifications in the room. Although I've already been here once, I think I already have a good grasp on this place and ins and outs. As long as you can tell which is east and west, it shouldn't be hard to find my way around. After the dining room, the main foyer should be the next thing that greets me. Where's the woman's cries leading me? Honestly, after what happened outside, I'm not sure if I should be trusting what I'm hearing. But with the whole house somehow seemingly devoid of any inhabitants, I'm inclined to look into this. More than surviving this curse, a huge part of this is why my training's speaking.
I just hope this isn't a crime scene I'm walking into.
Oh god, what if like someone's dead? What if Hannah's dead? I'm scared. But nothing's ever that simple, isn't it? Not when you're dealing with the supernatural, nope. Because as soon as my feet crosses the next room, oh my god, what? Something shifts. Ah! What? What? In a flash, nearly without fanfare, it happens in a blink of an eye. I almost miss it. One moment there's red, and then the next, it's completely normal. Okay. I'm standing alone in the foyer. For a brief instant, I pause, glancing wildly around the place, blinking twice as my movements would spurn the vision back. Yet, nothing. No blood dripping from the walls, none trailing down the stairs or pooled on the floor, no eyes watching my every movement, only the same cries gradually growing in intensity the longer I dally, along with a voice.
Mother.
Desperate.
Where are you, Mother?
That sounds like Hannah. But it's probably Charlotte or the girl, pleading.
Mother, please. I don't want to be alone.
Coming from the same direction I've heard the cries from, upstairs. The place is not entirely empty then. A better question is who? Definitely not Scumbag or the butler. I have yet to see hide nor hair of them, and not knowing where their whereabouts puts me on the edge. I have to be careful not making any noise or be seen. Maybe the wife? Though I can't really tell if it's her, the way the walls echo her voice. Nevertheless, it pushed me to move. Taking almost 2 steps at a time, despite the sickening feeling that something's lurking behind every great shadow, every small corner I pass. as if the house has several eyes watching my every movement, like the paintings on the wall. As if something's alive dwells behind the walls itself. Oh! Why? What is happening now? Oh my god, I don't like this. Why did you do that? Why are you doing this? Okay, I'm trying to remain calm. It's just freaking me out. I try to shake it off, but the uneasy sensation has already made home at the pit of my stomach, dread, and it only grows deeper the closer I get to her. The relative emptiness of the place doesn't help either, neither does the harsh wind battering in the windows, nor the sheets of rain pelting down the roof. For a fleeting second, I find myself wishing for Scumbag to simply show up. I don't get too far down into the train of thought. Abruptly, the cries stop, replacing it with,
Please. She's here. She's here, Mother. She's going to take me. She won't leave, Mother. I don't want to go with her. Tell her to go away. Mother! Mother, she's here! Help!
That can't be good. Adrenaline overcomes me in a rush. In no 2 heartbeats, my feet's already moving before any sense can catch up or doubt creeps up onto me. My hands are already at the holster as I hastily set up for the far side of the hall. One alarm footstep with another, while struggling to keep the sense of panic at bay. A door lies ajar at the end, and coming from the flood above, what?
She's going to hurt me! Help me!
I do not hesitate, moving in despite the lack of light, the steep stairs, and the thick layer of dust kicking up with every step. I pause only a moment upon reaching the top. Then, without wasting a second, I push the door open. Ah! Whoa! Is that Lady Charlotte? She sits in the middle of the room, shoulders hunched, shaking. Her hands cover her face as she's weeping, oblivious to my presence. As if she's heard neither my footsteps nor the soft creaking of the door, continuing undisturbed, like I'm standing in time far removed from her. She doesn't even flinch when I call out to her.
Hey, are you alright?
Oh my god.
Mother, I've done it, Mother. Take me with you, please.
What?
I can still hear her. She's here. Help me! Help me, please!
Blading, I noticed the blood on her hands. If it's the same one drenched the whole attic, I'd rather not know. How the whole room has ended up like this is the least of my problems at the moment. Every single human body doesn't have this much blood. So, bodies? The thought sends an unpleasant twinge in my stomach. Does Wright even know about this? He's bad news, alright, but this? This is beneath him. He'll definitely balk at the first sight of it, anyone will. Yet the woman lingers here, unmoved at the sight, by letting her sobs fill the room, repeating the words over and over again like a prayer of salvation. To whom? The mess of parchment she has left on the floor? Just what the hell is happening?
Hey,
I don't like
lady,
this.
Are you?
The rest of the question never makes it out. Why? Why? I don't even see it coming. What? Oh my god. Should have been more aware, on guard, really. But there's a little that I can do while a place blow on the back of my knees makes me stumble. What's going on? The momentum alone sends me reeling forward. I can barely even register in my head that the woman's gone and the room is normal as it can be. Not about the pain suddenly shooting up my side when I hit the floor. I don't even get a chance to get my bearings back when a hard blow to my stomach caused me to buckle down and land heavily on my knees. Gasping, I fumble wildly for my gun. Although before I'm able to turn, level it, and shoot, a hand grabs my wrist and twists it. Hard. A gasp. A grunt. A cry of pain slips past my mouth. The gun falls to the floor with a thunk. As soon as it lands, a foot kicks it out of reach and it slides uselessly under the bed. Agony suddenly explodes on my chin, jerking loose a sharp cry of pain as it fills the edges of my vision. A brief moment of regret hits me for leaving my taser with McCullough when the piece of cloth closes around my neck. Without warning, my attacker pulls tight. Whoa, is he choking him? I'm left gasping, choking, and crawling for air, blindly reaching behind me as I still try to fight him off and loosen the pressure on my neck. What is going on? Expect any movement only causes him to pull at taunt.
My, so many rats scurrying about in this mansion lately.
Johans! Wright's butler. Shit.
Tell me, what did you do with the madam?
I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. Did something happen to Hannah Wright?
Go! You asshole!
Now, Dummkopf, You're in no position to be rude. Last time I checked, I'm not the one breaking into other people's homes.
Okay, I know, I know, I'm trying to be like, I get it, he's trying to, like, protect the house, because, like, there's some random person coming into the home, but damn, how does Johannes know how to, like, you know, choke a person out, kill them? I'm assuming that's what he's trying to do right now, right?
Now answer my question. What did you do with the madam?
I didn't even see Hannah yet, so I don't know. The pain rings and resonates through my already sore body. Still, I managed to write it out and spit, Mitinus? I don't know how to say that.
You. Keep that dirty mouth babbling and you're getting a knife in the kidney.
Whoa, what the hell? Why is he so hardcore?
I assure you, it will be more painful than this.
He really doesn't need to threaten me by now. It's all too much to bear at this point. My lungs feel like they're burning with the lack of air. Dark spots begin to fill the edges of my vision. Ever so slowly, the world around me dims. Also, how do you expect him to answer if you're choking him out? You know what I mean? My consciousness rapidly slips away from me, and without meaning to...
Get away from him!
Isabella! Hearing that voice is if the douse with a bucket full of ice cold water familiar, too familiar. And more importantly, it shouldn't be here! I shouldn't be hearing it! She shouldn't be here. Immediately my eyes snap open. Girl, what are you doing here? Oh my god, they're gonna kill her! And right there, right on the attic's doorway, stands Isabella of all people. A rolling pin in one hand and standard issue police taser in the other. My taser! She must have borrowed it from McCullough. Where else could she have gotten one? I doubt she's ever used one. Even, hell, the way she holds it right now, the gun can easily disarm her in one hit. But there's something in her eyes. Although there is a look of fear in them and her hands shake, she even keeps the weapon trained to point it at the scumbag's lackey. Untrained or not, she does not plan to leave here without putting a fight, it seems. Admirable, really, but it's just not something we need right now. I need her to be away from here. I need her to be safe. But the chances of what happening grows slim with every laughter that slips from him.
Oh, this is just getting better and better. The Bratwurst won't be pleased with the number of bodies we have to dispose of today, you know.
What?
Tell me, how many of you are there? So I can prepare the proper number of bags.
Yo, I just thought you were attacking it because we're intruding your house. What the hell are you talking? Kill them? Damn it. What the fuck is going on? Why is she here in the first place? Did she follow after me? Well, who else came with her? Zach? Panic surges within me. She knows how bad the situation is, but did she really have to run here and expose herself like that? Does she even know how to use the taser? For fuck's sakes, more than worrying for my life, it's her I'm concerned about. Getting strangled, dying by choking isn't part of the plan, but her following me here isn't either. This is why I prefer to do things alone. This is why I'd rather be the only one to take the consequences. I don't even want to think about what this bastard might do to her after he's done with me. Though my voice comes off nearly croaked, I try to tell her as much. She has to leave. Stay far away from here and these people.
Don't! Damn it, Isabella! Get out of here!
Another bout of pain erupts my sides, cutting off my words. A cry of agony bursts from my mouth. I can taste blood on my tongue as I heave, attempting to get as much air despite the towel still coiled around my neck.
You're going to lose air quickly that way, Dummkopf. Better keep it shut.
Yo, Isabella, just shoot this guy!
Out! 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 Val!
Don't be stupid! I'm not leaving you here!
He laughs. Too cruel, too I knew there was something wrong with this fucking guy. I liked Johannes at first, but when we got to Marianne's chapter, remember what I said? They were just like, oh, remember Marianne's like, oh, we're looking for the knives. But why would there be knives, like silverware for the kitchen in the attic? Because Johannes was like, oh, it's in the attic. And she's like, why would it be there? Shouldn't it be in the kitchen? And Johannes was like, oh, well, his father, or, you know, and he kind of cut off the sentence. So is he like a fucking murderer or something? Like, what's going on? The way each note beats against my ear, in spite of the warmth in them, sends chills down my spine. This is a man whose hands have already been stained with blood before. Does Luke know this? But then again, he's like a fucking mob boss, right? That's probably what Luke does. He tells Johannes to do his dirty work. What happened with the professor's wife? Maybe Johannes is the one who killed her, right? Because, like, he sounds like a fucking villain right now, so he won't hesitate.
I'd follow his advice if I were you, little girl. What could you possibly do with a toy? Just hand it over and be on your way. It'll probably be too difficult for a little girl like you to use.
Oh, Isabella, shoot this guy! There's a moment of silence. Fuck, I can barely keep my eyes open. But in the next second, though I still don't exactly understand what's happening, Isabella shouts. Not a cry of pain, not a yell of panic, but one that's resolute, firm. Perhaps in a tone that leads fiercer than any I've heard her before.
Try me.
Yes!
Ashton, duck!
I do. More than that of instinct and desire to survive, closing my eyes before my mind can fully process what's going on. Ooh, it happens in a blur. The telltale sound of tasing being discharged sounds through the room. The air crackles. Something whizzes by me, almost too close to my ear, followed by the thud of something blunt connecting solid with another object. The next thing I know, the towel strangling me has started to loosen. I collapse on the floor. That's right, you bitch! Go down! I collapse onto the floor, dazed and gasping for air. From my peripheral, through the haze of blood rushing of the sound of slowly filtering back, the butler buckles. He spasmed once. Then, without much as a fuss, falls face first beside me, knocked unconscious by 50,000 volts of electricity and a fucking rolling pin. He'll be out for a while. I have no idea whether I should laugh or cry at that. I know Ashton doesn't have handcuffs with him, but if we had one, that would have been so good. We can like handcuff him to the bed or something, so he can't escape. Somewhere in the front of me, my oxygen-derived brain vaguely registers Isabella's form. She slumped on the floor, also breathing heavily. Right next to her trembling hand, both the taser and the rolling pin lie useless and forgotten, while the mood in the room eases, a long, gradual process of the tension lifting. For countless seconds we remain quiet, with only our short gasps and sighs to fill the silence, allowing the adrenaline ebb away and both of our breathing to slow. Not a true response by any means, but simply a brief respite. There's still the curse. We're still inside the mansion, in imminent danger. We still have no idea how to fix this. Outside, the rain seems to only intensify, lightning flashes fleeting somewhere, white and piercing, and the sky rumbles. No rest for the wicked. I stir first, once recovered, having regained some semblance of sense of strength. Breathing still hurts, but it's bearable. As is moving, although every small motion causes a wince, there will be bruising tomorrow I can manage. Retrieving my gun from under the bed is easy. But only after some effort, I am able to drag the unconscious man to the far end of the room, snapping one of the— oh, he has handcuffs! The handcuffs on his wrist, that's good! While fastening the other to the bed frame. Hey! He took my idea! See, that's the smart thing to do. That should keep him restrained for a few hours, in case he wakes up prematurely. All through this, Isabella stays quiet. In fact, she hasn't even moved since. Her hands still shake and taking long draws of breath while she stares vacantly in front of her, almost as if she's still in shock. Perhaps she isn't even expecting any result, spurring only by some kind of desperation. Now it's sinking in. Unfortunately, we need to get moving. We don't have the time to wait for everything to register in our heads. Kneeling in front of her, I give her a light shake.
Belle, we need to go. You can't stay here.
Slowly, she turns, staring at me with wide eyes, worry flickering briefly in them along with something ineffable. Then, without warning, she lifts a hand and slaps me right across the face! Ooh! Ooh! The sound cracks in the air, shattering the silence like a fragile glass breaking. Despite the familiar rumble of the thunder outside, it manages to ring louder above the storm. I don't even know what hit me until my head is already snapped back and my cheek stings with anger. And it is anger. Inside the stillness and the lack of words afterwards, not fuming though, never fuming, but this kind of that burns lightly and soundless. Frustration instead of seething rage. One that ebbs just as quickly as it flows, and once the tide subsides, that is the only gleam in her eyes, warm, steadfast, and unflinching. Quietly, I brace myself for the truth underneath that gaze. It slips from her lips, nearly fading under the sound of the rain, still falling fast, if not for the weight of each word.
What is wrong with you?
Belle.
If Zach didn't slip up, no one would have known where you went.
Belle, one person knowing is enough. Any more than that, and—
You almost died!
Where's Zach?
He could have suffocated you right then and there, and you could have died.
I told Zach to give me 4 hours. That would have been enough time to—
It would have been too late! And by the time anyone ever finds out, you're already fertilizer!
She trails off, drags one in-drawn breath after another. A brief lull as her frustration finally gives, dissolves into something more pensive and somber. Her shoulders droop and through her voice rises hoarse and weary. In her words, there's only certainty.
You count too, you know. When I said, that night when I told you, I don't want to lose anyone anymore. That includes you! Alive!
Yeah, you idiot!
We're still here, Ash. You have us.
And once their meaningful roar, it does not with force of a dam breaking or raging storm, but with the gentle, steady warmth of a heart burning, an ember easing slowly, lightly, rising and giving, until all that's left is the truth and understanding, not alone, never alone. It lingers, even as we both drift back into the silence and her words take root, because in the gratitude that swells after, it's another warmth blooming. Pleasant, warming, like finding home, like finding ourselves in the haze of squall as left, creating something fragile yet immutable in both of us. It's in her eyes, in the way she holds my gaze, unnerving, unwavering, in a way she carries herself despite sitting amidst a place she fears, in a way she keeps herself from trembling and falling apart because fear is inconsequential when people she cares about are at risk, a change. She realizes that now, holds on to it. Another little thing, another small thing from her that may go unnoticed and pass by quietly but will eventually amount to other things. Tiny gestures that mean nothing at first, but began to matter to me one day until, oh, despite myself, a smile slips from my lips and the same warmth from earlier unfurls in my chest. Unhurried, familiar, and bright with all these years I've carried it, but never given the words for it.
Stop smiling like that, Ashton! I'm not done scolding you!
But this time they come easy.
I heard all of it. Don't worry.
Are you really okay? That guy hit you a little too hard on the head. Here, let me...
I reach up just as she extends a hand towards my face, catching her wrist in a light grip, drawing it closer, and folding her hand between mine. Oh! Another of her expression does shift into mild confusion. She does not pull away like I'm expecting. She simply stares at me, searching. For her to allow a gesture for me that perhaps too close, it tells us how far things have already shifted in these past years. Cradled in mine, her hands still tremble. Most of the tremors has already subsided by now, though I doubt it'll fade away this soon. Even as I trace the lines of her palms, in what I hope is a comforting gesture.
I'm sorry. No.
For what? Is this about what happened tonight? You can apologize later, when...
No, well, this too, but it's not just about this.
What?
It's for a lot of things. For calling me clumsy and careless and a scatterbrain.
Are you sure this isn't a concussion?
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Well, you don't usually apologize.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that too.
He's growing! Character development!
For all the times I've teased you and made you cry.
Unexpectedly, her fingers tighten around mine, our hands falling between us as something tender shifts in there. Oh my god! What is going on? Another exhale. Another dry breath eases out of me, filled with every hesitation and uncertainties. But when I finally choose to break silence, it's only when I know that what slips past my mouth is the truth I will hold against the world.
But for all those callous words, despite all those, there's nothing I don't love about you. In fact, those things...
Confess! What a weird time to confess. There's a fucking unconscious guy in the room, by the way.
Everything that's you.
For a long moment, she offers no response. Her grip on my hands merely tightens. Although my heart's pounding hard against my ears, I take a chance and look up. Slightly leaning away and giving her a conscious glance, more than ready to hear her rejection. And it is one, despite her smile on her face, if it can even be called one, of course. There's a pain aspect to it I can hardly name. Regardless of what it means to her or what she intends to convey with it, the sight of it alone makes me regret ever mentioning anything. It's almost as if she's forcing herself to push out the next word out of her mouth for the sake of not hurting me. Oh, if she rejects him, like, I kind of understand, because they were friends first, and maybe Isabella doesn't see him that way. Oh, that's kind of sad, though, if she rejects him. Not that I won't be able to take it, but if these feelings will only put heavier burden on her, I'd rather not have said anything at all. As expected, with one last squeeze at the hand cradling hers, she pulls her hand away from mine. When she speaks, though, there's a spark of refusal to meet my eyes. Not that I hold it against her. The situation's already awkward as it is. Yes! A man tried to kill you. He's also unconscious in the room.
Ash...
She pauses, biting her lower lip. A small frown forms between her eyebrows while she struggles to find the right phrase to string together.
Ashton, I'm really sorry.
Oh no!
Oh, no, it's cool.
Oh, awkward!
I was already expecting that. Kind of. But you don't have to...
No, I mean, I can't. I can't afford to think of anything other than helping my family. Especially now that Papa's gone.
Oh! Oh my god. I know that I can get these two together, but I guess it's like the answers that I chose. I don't know. So they're not gonna end up together this playthrough. Damn it!
They're going to need me more than ever, Ash. I'm sorry. I really can't. Not right now.
I've always known it would lead to this. To some extent, her family will always come first. Who am I to take that from her? It hurts, of course, but the pain eases. Knowing that in spite of circumstances, her heart will always be in the right place. That she's still the same woman I've fallen in love with.
It's alright, Belle.
Oh, this is so sad and awkward. Oh, I feel bad for Ash.
If it still matters, that's actually what I love about you. Of course, not that I'm expecting anything by telling you that, but you get the point. Yeah.
Thanks, Ash. I mean, thank you for loving me. Even after everything.
I mean, he kind of has a chance. She said not now. So, I mean, Ashton has a chance in the future, but that's really sad. Her response is a smile and a soft laughter. Perhaps the sweetest I've seen and heard from her. Just from it, I know nothing will change despite her answer and any lingering feelings that will come from this. And there will be. Lingering feelings, that is. With the way she barged into our lives 5 years ago, it would probably be enough to leave a terrible impression on anyone, but that's also precisely it. It's people like her that you don't easily forget. It's them that gradually worms their way into a person's life until their very thought of losing them becomes unbearable. As it is, I'm already content simply staying by her. No grand expectations or hopes attached, just banter, the small smiles, and the quiet little moments that roar. I love her, but that also isn't all there is to us.
I know I caused you all kinds of trouble these past few years.
Hey, whoever told you I'm doing this for free? After we're done with this curse thing, you're gonna owe me a year's supply of ice cream.
Yeah, we'll see.
Another laughter, this time from both of us. Then she hits my arm with a light punch. Familiar, warm, bright and hopeful, much like everything about her. And it is strength enough to keep me going as I lead us both out. Okay guys, I'm gonna end this episode right here. Oh, I feel so bad! I didn't get Ashton and like Isabella together. It's so sad because he confessed everything and then she's like, no thanks. Oh man, that's really sad though. But at least they're not dead yet. I'm really glad Ashton didn't die. But hey, what did I say about Johannes though? So, I don't know what kind of level Crazy Luke is. All I know is he's like mob boss style, but usually those kind of people are very dangerous. But then again, I'm very thrown off because of the way he reacted towards Rebecca and their relationship. So I don't know what the hell's gonna happen when we get to him, and I'm kind of nervous about that. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think Luke's crazy? Or do you think it's just Johannes? I don't know anymore. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you know when I upload the next episode of The Letter. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye! Okay, here's the problem. I'm always sad after climaxing. So, you're gonna need something here. Down to... Last time I talked to someone, they told me I did my eyeliner wrong. Oh my god, what a bitch! Who said that? Small eyes. That's what she told me. I mean, my eyes look small and I should trust her because she knows